The Muslim Woman's Handbook by Huda Khattab, Chapter 1, Ibadah, Worship Continued. Congregational Prayer at Home. The rule about men praying in the front rows and women praying at the back applies to prayer at home too. Even a husband and wife shouldn't form one row in prayer. Praying in family is a particularly good way of reinforcing family ties and of setting a good example to younger children. Most children, including toddlers, will want to join in and will learn the movements of the prayer without too much difficulty. Leading the prayer. A woman should not lead a mixed congregation in prayer, but where there are only women present, one of them can lead the others. Thus, although we don't have to attend prayers in the mosque, we don't need to miss out on the benefits and reward of congregational prayer. When a woman leads others in prayers, she should stand in the middle of the row, not out in front like a male imam. If there is only one other woman present, she should stand to the right side of the imam or the woman. On the right should recite the iqamah, called immediately preceding prayer. Jummah, the Friday prayer. Attending Jummah prayer is obligatory on men but not on women. This makes allowances for our other obligations. For example, it's difficult to attend the mosque with babies and small children in tow. There is also the question of menstruation and possible embarrassment when otherwise regular attendance is interrupted. However, we are not forbidden to attend the mosques, so the decision whether or not to attend Jummah prayers is very much an individual one, depending on circumstances and other commitments facilitates available in the mosques. One important thing to remember when attending Friday prayer is the khutbah is as much a part of the observance as the prayer itself. It is forbidden to talk during the khutbah and take the opportunity to learn from it instead. Eid prayers. Although the Eid prayers are sunnah and not obligatory for both men and women, those of us living in a non-Muslim country should make the most of the opportunity to gather together and celebrate with large numbers of our fellow Muslims. The Prophet ﷺ positively encouraged all women to attend and share the joy of Eid. This extends even to the menstruating women, although they cannot join in the prayer, of course, but they can still join in the takbirat. Atiyah narrated, the Messenger of Allah ﷺ ordered us to bring old women, young girls, and middle-aged women on both the Eids to the Eid prayer place. But those women who are having their monthly period should not join in the Eid prayer. Bukhari and Muslim. Atiyah radiallahu anha narrated, on the occasion of every Eid, an order came from the Messenger of Allah ﷺ that we should also bring the menstruating women to the Eid prayer place so they could join in with the other women to say the takbirs. Sahih Bukhari. Of course, when we attend the Eid prayers, the same rules of decorum in the mosque apply. We should be dressed in correct hijab and should avoid mixing with the men. Saum, fasting. During the month of Ramadan, it is compulsory on all Muslims to fast. O you who believe, fasting is prescribed for you as it was prescribed for those before you, that you may learn self-restraint. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:183. Grammatically speaking, the masculine plural used here in Arabic refers to males as well as to females. The Islamic fast means a total abstinence from all food, drink, tobacco, and conjugal relations for those who are married between the hours of sunrise and sunset. Women are not allowed to fast during menstruation and postnatal bleeding. Any fast missed must be made up at a later date. During illness, pregnancy, and breastfeeding, a woman may be excused from fasting, but it is better to fast if she is able to and there is no medical risk. Again, any fasts you miss have to be made up later on. There are many optional fasts in Islam too, which all Muslims, male and female, are encouraged to observe, following the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. However, a married woman should not observe an optional fast without the permission of her husband. This is because she should not refuse his advances, which she would have to do if she were fasting. For more details, see the section on obligations in such relations in the chapter of marriage. Zakat. In Islam, a woman's wealth is her own, and she is responsible to no one except Allah for how she disposes of it. And the amount of wealth makes you liable to pay zakat. You must make sure it is paid. Zakat is payable on gold and silver jewelry and on cash, including money in bank accounts and money earned in rent for buildings owned. The rate is 2.5%, and the zakat should be paid once a year. Hajj. A woman is required to perform Hajj as a man is, but she must be accompanied by her husband or a mahram, father, son, brother, etc. Women who are without such an escort are not in fact under obligation to perform Hajj, but accordingly to some schools of thought, the Maliki, Shafi, may go to Hajj with a large group, such as those organized by Muslim travel agents. In this case, the group itself constitutes the mahram. As Hajj is not a day-to-day matter, it will not be dealt with in detail in this book. Guides to Hajj are available in Islamic bookshops, and any reputable company organizing trips to Mecca should also be able to advise. Reading Quran. Recitation and memorization of the Quran is considered an act of worship in Islam, as much for women as for men, although women should not recite aloud in mixed groups. Of course, women can read aloud in feminine-only gatherings, such as meetings, are to be encouraged. If there is no group in your area, why not start one? You don't need a vast crowd of people. 2 or 3 can learn together.